Welcome to today's episode of Selling as a Career. I am Garima Surana and the subject expert of this episode is Dr. Sabiha Khan, who will tell you about selling as a career and introduction of distribution network relationship. Selling as a career, advantages and difficulties. Selling as career is an excellent option for the youngster as it will give an opportunity to explore the dynamic business environment, and also it gives young people to draw a handsome amount. The advantages are as follows. Learning of various geographical locations. Salesperson visit many places within the country as well as outside the country. These visits may be due sales meeting, attending conferences, or pleasure tours arranged by the companies. Opportunities to meet different types of persons. Man, being a social animal, loves to be in company of people. Salesman has an opportunity to meet people across the country as well as outside the country. Improvement in communication. Most companies offer training programs that are indirect benefits to the salesman. Training programs like speaking skills enhances the communication and builds up the confidence. These programs enable interaction between salesmen of different territories which provide them with latest developments. High-paying jobs in sales as most of the organization follow good incentive plans. The direct salary and allowances, etc. are similar to other jobs. However, indirect benefits such as incentives are more than other companies. The basic salary and allowances are revised from time to time. The other financial incentives are salary plus commission on sales, and sometimes profit is also shared with the salesman. However, the difficulties are also there if someone is opting for a career in sales. They are as follows. Pressure to meet targets. Sales job is based on targets. Salesman is given targets on annual basis, which is most of the time difficult to accomplish. Jobs related stress, which is higher as compared to other departments. Salesman's stress is more than his colleagues from other department. Travel will also affect the work-life balance. Some jobs require extensive traveling, which disturbs the personal life and brings about more stress. Sometimes the area visited is not suitable because of weather conditions or food available. Difficulty in finding job opportunities after growing old. Sales require energy and fresh blood. Salesperson has to be energetic enough to travel daily long distances and should possess sound health for carrying on his work. Selling is as attractive career option. It has glamour as well as less boredom than other departments. Every time something new can be done by continuous upgradation of skills like communication, product information, and competitor information. Moving to industries where growing age factor has lesser role in career growth is another option. Sales routine and maintaining sales report and other documentations in selling. In a salesperson's professional life, a fixed desired routine is required which deals with various functions like customer inquiries about product, pricing and other informations. Sales routine includes replying inquiries, submitting quotations, offers, order executions, attending correspondence billing coordinations, payment follow-ups, and maintain records. These records primarily control the sales force and aid to market research and planning. There are basic steps that a salesperson follows in his day-to-day activities. Customer inquiries. Inquiries like information of the products, any advertising campaign where some scheme is offered, pricing discounts, complaints, etc. are basically answered through phone, emails or letters. Sales literatures, company websites are best support system to handle these inquiries. These days, organizations are using an external agency like B.B.S to handle this area. Salesperson's calls. Salespersons make two kinds of sales calls, that is, cold calls and follow-up calls. Cold calls are exploring new clients with or without fixing an appointment. Follow-ups calls are meeting the old customers for repeat orders. All sales calls are well planned as per the division of customers in the allocated territories. A proper balance has to be made in order to cover the entire sales territory. Quotations. These are offers made by the salespersons on the company letterhead after the final sales negotiations. A typical quotation will always have details of the product or service, supplied pricing, validity period, and other terms and conditions defined by the organization policies. Sales report. Each organization has a format for a sales report. A smart salesperson always maintains his personal records in terms of maintaining a diary so that he will do his follow-up at the right time. Though sales report varies from company to company, some basic components are as follows. Progress report. This part of the report is meant to give information on the progress or day-to-day work done by the salesman. Each day a salesperson prepares a report which consists of the following information: date, time, person met, person's designation, address and contact number, brief of the discussion, competitor information if any, quotation submission if required and by when it has to be submitted, negotiation for final offer. In case the customer is not taking the offer, now when the next follow-up is to be done. It gives all information which becomes the valuable input in future sales planning. Expense component. All salesmen are reimbursed for expenses incurred or given an expense account for which they have to account for. The objective of incorporating this component is to keep a check on the nature and extent of salesmen's expenses. Work plan component. Salesmen are expected to submit a work plan or schedule which includes details of prospective and present customers to be called upon, routes to be taken, on selling activities to be performed. It helps a salesman in planning and scheduling activities to keep a track of his whereabouts. New business or potential business component. The report also requires a salesman to inform on accounts recently obtained or those who may become sources of potential business. Lost business component. This component of report provides information on salesmen's ability to retain customers. It can also be utilized for gaps in sales training changes. Complaint and adjustment component. This component is related to a specific complaints that a customer may have in relation to the work of the salesman. Importance of sales reports. Sales reports are one of the controlling devices that keep a check on the movements and activities of the salesperson. Its significance is as listed. All senior members of the team leaders in the hierarchy will have an access to these reports, and they advise and control the movement of the junior salespersons on these reports. These reports are the best source of the MIS systems of the organization. Taking a control on the salesperson activities, whether he is actually meeting the clients. To understand the prospect of business. To understand any lacuna or defect in the products or services or drawbacks in the distribution network. To enable the sales office to extend or not to extend further credit to the customers. To activate the salespersons to achieve the allocated targets. To keep the sales manager posted with the latest market position. To control the unnecessary expenses done by the salespersons. To evaluate the performance of the salespersons. Control mechanism for the management. Sales reports also help other department functions like operations, production, and marketing. Sales reports helps in organizing salesperson routine and avoid wastage of time. A new salesperson will have an access to all the information and knowledge of the previous salesperson about the market, competitor, and forthcoming business. Sales reports are excellent planning tool for the sales manager. It reflects the demand trends of the product and choice of the consumers. It represents the effectiveness of advertising campaigns and other sales promotional tools used by the organization. Excellent feedback mechanism for customers for any improvement in product or services. Other benefits of the reports are as follows. Setting performance standards. These include a guideline for salesperson, and this not only set quantitative performance standards but also desired level of performance expected out of a salesperson. This enhances good performance and measurement of performance. Sales quota. Sales quota is defined as the estimated volume of sales that a company expects to secure within a definite period of time. It is a goal of sales accomplishment, a task objective, or a standard that a sales organization strives to attain. The quota may be set in terms of value or in terms of units of sales or for a geographical area to be attained within a definite period of time. An attainable quota must be fixed, taking into consideration for the past records, changed environment. It must be flexible and it should be achieved by an average salesperson. Sales territories. Primarily, it is the division of market of a company into small segments. A sales territory is the basic unit of sales planning and sales control, representing a certain segment of future sales and profit of the company. Deciding the size of the territory is important as it is humanly possible to cover. There has to be a mutual benefit between the organization and the salesperson when sales territories are decided. Territories can be planned and reviewed time to time and has to be flexible. Various reasons for establishing sales territories are as follows. Full coverage of the target market. To face the competition with full control. To avoid any overlap by the salesperson in terms of servicing the customers. To equalize the opportunities for the salesman. To balance selling of different product lines. Order book. Order book is an inseparable component of salesmanship. All orders are to be written in the order book. A typical order book will have the following details. First, serial number. Second, order number. Third, name and address of the ordering party. Fourth, through whom the order has come. Fifth, date of the order firm. Sixth, date of receipt of the company. Seventh, quantity. Eighth, quality. Ninth, date of delivery. 10th, transport details. 11th, date and number of delivery slip. 12th, invoice number. 13th, amount at invoice. 14th, remarks. 15th, name of the selling agent. Personal selling in international markets. Selling in international markets is a big challenge for the salesperson. Issues like regional differences, language problems and culture, and customs differences. Also, it takes a longer time to develop rapport with these customers as compared to the local one. Hiring local talent for sales profile is the strategy for any organization who wants to operate global, as it is an expensive proposition to send the local salespersons in global markets. When organizations tend to open their offices offshore and send their local persons to these locations, they need to provide information about the culture, customs, and traditions of the serving country. Hiring local instructors to train the salespersons helps organization in understanding the needs of the customers. Understanding local language will also help the salespersons, will also help to enhance sales. Ethics and personal selling. As a salesperson, it is important to build an individual credibility, honesty, trustfulness for surviving longer in the same market. This aspect not only helps the salespersons to build a clean image of him, her, but also the organization he/she represent. In case the salesperson is practicing the above, it will help the salesperson in the following manner. Help him for repeat buy from the same customers. Word of mouth publicity by the customers about the organization and its products or services. Handling conflicts in effective manner. Personal selling is an art as well as science. It is inseparable part of marketing. It is incomplete without knowing how the product reaches the customers. For that, we need to have insight into distribution network. We need to know the factors that affect distribution of goods and services. Let us now discuss in detail distribution networks relationship. Distribution channels refer to managerial decisions on the selection of best routes or paths for moving goods from producer to consumer. Channels of distribution are concerned not only with the physical movement of goods but also with their promotion, selling, and marketing control. Channels of distribution are used to refer to various intermediaries who help in moving the product from producer to consumer. There are a variety of middlemen and merchants who act as intermediaries between producers and consumers. It usually includes producers, wholesalers, agent, middlemen, and retailers. The channel of distribution helps consumers by providing goods of right quantity at the right time, place, and the right price. It is also the transfer of title of goods from sellers to buyers. Every channel contains one or more transfer points where there is either an institution or a final buyer. In other words, legal ownership of the product changes at least once. When the producer sells directly to the final buyers and there are no intervening middlemen, it is called as direct selling. However, in most cases, there are a number of intermediaries. Distribution channels bring goods to the consumer in a convenient shape, unit, size, style, and package. Hence, they add convenience value. They make it possible for the consumer to obtain goods at a price he is willing to pay and conditions which bring him satisfaction and pride of ownership. Hence, they add possession value. Various aspects of distribution network components act as bridging the gap between producers to users, like geographical gaps, time gap, knowledge gap, technological gap, possession gap. 4 basic functions of distribution channels are as follows: transfer of title to goods involved, physical movement from the point of production to the point of consumption, storage functions, communication of information concerning availability, characteristics and price of goods in transit, inventory and on purchase. Selecting the channel of distribution. Selecting a proper channel of distribution is one of the key factors that determine the success or failure of marketing program of a business. The choice of the channel of distribution is influenced by various factors like product characteristics, consumer characteristic, market characteristics, middleman consideration, company characteristics, environmental factors, and other factors. Product characteristics. Product characteristics have an influence on the choice of channel of distribution. They refer to unit value of goods, product features like volume, weight, perishability, technical features, and product standardization, and so on. The producer has to consider the product characteristics while selecting the channel of distribution. Products that are frequently purchased need direct distribution to reduce the cost and burden of distribution of such products. Similarly, goods of perishable nature like ice cream need direct marketing in order to reach the market and the ultimate user quickly. Direct marketing is required for bulky products, technical products which require specialized selling and servicing facilities. Products of high unit value are directly sold by company's sales force rather than through middlemen. Similarly, industrial goods need direct distribution. In case of new products which require more selling efforts, selling through retailers can be adopted. Thus, direct marketing is suitable in cases of perishable goods, bulky products, and products having technical complexities, whereas long distribution channel is preferable in case of durable standardized products, lightweight goods, small sized goods, and products without technical complexities. Consumer characteristics. While selecting a channel of distribution, consumer characteristics are also taken into consideration. They refer to buying habits, size and location of markets, and order size. The chain of distribution, whether it should be long or short, depends on the number of customers, their geographical dispersion, frequency, and regularity of purchase, and the way it responds to different selling methods. Long channels may be necessary when customers are large in number and spread over large geographical area. Products which are smaller in size and frequently purchased need long chains of distribution. Buyers' responses to different selling methods are considered while selecting a channel. Short channels of distribution are preferred in the cases where small numbers of buyers concentrate in a particular geographical region. Middlemen considerations. While selecting a channel of distribution, a manufacturer has to take into account the services rendered by the middlemen. Generally, middlemen are appointed to get all types of services which manufacturer cannot perform economically. If the product needs aggressive selling or special storage efforts which cannot be provided by the manufacturer, the services of the middleman has to be utilized. The choice of channel of distribution is influenced by the availability of suitable middlemen, cost of maintaining intermediaries, distribution policy of the firm, firm's sales targets, and profit margins in the sales of goods. Difference in behavior, their number, and their location affect the channel choice. The number of intermediaries needed for the distribution of firm's product depend on the degree of market exposure sought by the firm for its products. Channels that give largest sales volume at lower cost should be preferred. Company characteristics. A company that is financially sound can afford direct marketing. The size of the company, its financial resources, past channel experience, current marketing policies, and company's product mix influence the channel pattern. A reputed company can establish its own branches, showrooms and depot. On the other hand, a new company has to depend on intermediaries. A company willing to exercise greater control prefers shorter channels of distribution as it facilitates better coordination, communication, and control. The wider the company's product mix, greater will be its strengths to deal directly with its consumers. Thus, financial soundness nature of the marketing services influence channel choice. That's all for today. Let's sum up what we've learned today. Hope you have understood the qualities a salesperson must possess to convince his customers and the problems he has to overcome being a salesman. We also learned what distribution network relationship is. We will continue with the distribution network relationship in the next episode. Till then, take care and bye.